Hello, welcome to Local Matters. My name is Vicki Evans. The Tucson Jazz Society has been a part of the Southern Arizona music scene for almost 45 years and a vital part. The sole mission is to present and promote America's own original music, and that would be all that jazz. And yes, I did plagiarize, but we are so happy to welcome today Clarence Boykins. And Clarence is the new president of the Tucson Jazz Society. And we welcome Kris Basel, having a little, who's the marketing director of the Tucson Jazz Society. So again, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
As I said, you're the new president.
Yes.
And I would imagine you've got to combine, it's a job where you get to combine your love of jazz and then trying to bring this unique art form to Tucson and to Southern Arizona.
Well, you know, probably more than anything else is my love of jazz, but also my love of this community. And I think this is a very big, vital part of that. We have a lot of tremendous, exciting jazz artists that's here in this community, and having the opportunity to bring them to the forefront so they could be appreciated and listened for their craft, and I think that's the big part of doing this job.
Describe what you like. What do you like? What jazz do you like? All of it?
I like all of it. You know, I like music. You know, and you can't, you know, you can't say, gee, I like this part and I like that part. You know, you prefer different styles. You know, but pretty much I like all of it. I like smooth jazz. I like straight jazz, as they call it. You know, I like music. I like R&B. As a matter of fact, I even like rap. So it's.
And I want to talk about the annual concert series, but give us just a 2-minute sketch about jazz being, you know, created in America.
Well, you know, it is, and for me, it even goes back to the drum. You know, and so it's a big thing here. And like I said before, we have some talent in this community, and I think that we have not done our best job in bringing that talent forward. And so having the opportunity to do that and to recognize their skill sets and at the same time entertain those who love jazz, the music here is just a big challenge and a big treat for me to be able to be a part of that.
Great. Kris, start us off with describe what the annual concert series is.
Well, excellent. We have a concert actually in September, the George Howard Band, and then we're going to be at St. Philip's Plaza for Dimitri Matheny CD release celebration, and he's a phenomenal national player, horn player, and I'm very excited to have him. We're going to have just a great turnout for that, Under the Stars, and then we're going to finish off with David Bach, who's a DC-based world jazz player, and so we've got some excellent artists for our annual series.
And the annual series got started. I mean, how many concerts do you hold with this series? Usually?
5.
5.
Yes, we've already had, we have George Howard Band, Jen and the LPs. She's a local, really cute and spunky band. And so just local artists we've had. So we're really excited to finish off our series with some big national names.
And I just wanted to remind you that we are talking to Clarence Boykins, president, and Kris Basel, who's the marketing director of the Tucson Jazz Society. And if you are an aficionado or you would like to learn more about jazz, we want you please contact the Tucson Jazz Society at 520-903-1265 or go to tucsonjazz.org. You also do a live from the Lincoln Center.
Yeah,
How is that possible out here in the desert?
You know, with the technology, you know, we could have done it from the moon. It's just that way. You know, and we want to broaden our scope and not be looked at as if we are this, you know, we're in Tucson and we're just this little microcosm of what goes on. We're going to be, and we want to be, and continue to be, you know, a player in the jazz community, so that when people think about jazz in Tucson, they think about the Tucson Jazz Society.
How does this work? I mean, where do people go? Are you telling them to tune in or what? How does it work?
Those were really fun. We did 2 live from Lincoln Center webcasts. One was at Pima Community College West Campus, and then we did a series at downtown campus. And it was really fun because it's a place where you can bring your kids, and it's all ages, and you just get up close look at Wynton Marsalis, and you get to hear him bantering with his band.
Oh my gosh.
And it was actually really fun.
Yeah. So, and how many of these do you do a year?
We've had 2 so far. We've posted on our website the 2014-2015 schedule.
Okay.
So,
and Duke Ellington, I just saw. So is that a? Help me.
A part of the series?
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be. You know, it's all new for me at this particular point. I'm finishing off my first month.
Okay.
You know, and
right,
getting,
right.
And
Kind of hard to keep it all straight.
I couldn't do it without her. Without Kris, it's just a difficult task, and so she allows me to hang out with her, and I begin to get some of the information that we need to do.
Well, again, so I wanted just to remind you, best bet to partake of all these, the annual concert series and live from Lincoln Center is to go to the Tucson Jazz Society website, and find out when, where, time, TucsonJazzSociety.org, or you can always call 903-1265. How do folks become a part of the Tucson Jazz Society? Is it a member-based organization?
It's a membership-based organization, and just last weekend we did a free membership mixer. You know, we had a group that came and played at the
Old Pueblo
Grill, and it was just to say, you know, thank you. It was free to members, and they enjoyed it, and we're going to continue to do those type of things because membership is the basis of the organization and what we do.
Do you get, are people, you two love jazz, I would take it. That's why you're, you know, doing, you know, you're making it your time,
Right.
You're giving it your time, it's your
Correct.
passion. What would you say to somebody who said, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure if I like Thelonious Monk. What would you say?
Well, I would say
that kind of music.
You know, I would say the same thing. You know, with that you say to your kids when they don't like broccoli. You know, so how do you, you know, how do you know unless you try it? So you know, why don't you come out and let's see what it is, because jazz expands a lot of different type of music that comes out from that. And you might not like Thelonious Monk, but you might like Joe Sample, who's a keyboardist, a piano player. You know, you might like saxophone and might not like clarinet. So it's a part of, you know, let's try it out first, you know, and see what it is that you like. You might like Latin jazz, Afro-Cuban jazz. I mean, there's just so much of it out there.
Right,
you know.
right.
So we say, you know, let's, you know, there was Ella Fitzgerald and Nancy Wilson, you know, Sarah Vaughan going way back.
Right.
So we say, you know what, why don't you come listen, hang out for a while, you know, and if you don't like it, then it's okay.
Right,
you know,
right.
Eventually we're going to hit on something
that
you like, and,
right.
and that's what it is. And we have some exciting things that we're planning for next year. We look forward to doing, and one of them is a Kentucky Derby Jazz Festival.
In 2015?
In 2015, May 9th.
May 9th.
That's the Kentucky Derby,
All
and that's the
right.
most important horse race in our country.
Yep.
The Run for the Roses.
Right.
And so a lot of ladies with their hats and drink some mint juleps, and we're going to have a hat contest and those
How
things. And so
fun.
it's going to be a great day. And
great.
those are the type of events that we're going to start introducing and bringing to get people excited about
jazz.
Yeah.
I have to ask Kris too. Do you have a favorite, or when did you start to love jazz?
I would say Latin jazz. Anything you can move to.
Are you a good mover?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're going to provide that. you know.
Yeah.
We're going to provide that, and it's entertainment, you know, and we're going to get you away from the tube at home and, you know, and the remote control.
I'll bet at the annual concert series, or you know, as you said, at the live from Lincoln Center, you know, family event. I bet I bet if someone said, "Hold you can't tap your toe," forget it. It would be over, wouldn't it?
The rhythm, the beat will make you move. Yeah. If nothing else, you pat your hands. You know.
What about the? We want to talk a little bit about the jazz festival, and now and this is an organization that you work with closely, correct?
Right. Yeah. You know, it's once again it's jazz and it's Tucson, and our love for jazz in Tucson, you know, brings us together with the program. And believe it or not, Yvonne Irving, who's heading that effort, you know, was the creator of the Tucson Jazz Society. So, you know, we have that kinship in doing that. And we're a sponsor, and we work with them. As a matter of fact, during this period of time, I now serve on their board as a representative to them from the Tucson Jazz Society, so that we can make it happen. You know, it's not, as it is, two different organizations. The main thing is Tucson,
right?
And this is where we want to make it work,
right.
and it doesn't matter who does what. It's working and it's happening, and we all can take, you know, pride and are proud to do that. So I'm happy to be a part of that process as well. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know about the Tucson Jazz Festival, we've got something for you.
HSL Properties Tucson Jazz Festival kicks off with organ master Joey DeFrancesco with guest Jimmy Cobb, followed by the Grammy-winning Robert Glasper Experiment. UA Presents has vocalist Diane Reeves and the Hot Sardines at the Fox Theater. Rock legend J.D. Souther has Billy Childs as a special guest, and Alan Harris sings a tribute to Nat King Cole. The legendary Burt Bacharach closes the festival. That's Jazz in January with the HSL Properties Tucson Jazz Festival, January 16th through the 28th in sunny Tucson, Arizona. We'll see you there.
It should be sunny.
Yes.
All right, one of the many days. The Jazz Society has an endowment.
Yes.
And we don't have a lot of time, but I sure would like to hear about that.
Well, you know, what we want to do is to create a future and to make sure that there's a future for learning, for kids, for new people coming along to learn and to understand jazz. And once again, this is Tucson, this is our home. So, you know, we're in a position and we're working real hard to create the endowment so that there'll always be some fundings around to make things happen and to keep it going as we move forward. And we're working with the Tucson Community Foundation in order to make that happen. So we're excited about our role as leaders in the jazz industry here in Tucson and establishing something for the future.
Right. Kris, or Clarence, are high schools and local schools, middle schools, are they, you know, in their music programs, is jazz a component, or is that something you'd like to expect?
In some schools, we've got a fabulous jazz institute in Tucson, and they're really great. And I know that South Point High School has a great jazz program. But we really want to be a part of expanding that, and we're going to try and do that with the endowment.
Right. And I should bite my tongue, but I was at a Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce luncheon, and they had a fabulous high school jazz band as entertainment. And of course, I can't remember the name. I probably should have kept my mouth shut, right? But they were great. Whoever they were really, really good. Really, really good.
Good.
So, you've got the future with the Kentucky Derby. That's something new.
It's one of the things. Yeah.
One of the things. In 30 seconds, what else do you have?
Well, we're looking at doing a gospel jazz program. You know, we have some jazz artists that do a lot of gospel things. And so we want to be able to bring all of that into the mix as well. So it could be a brunch, you know, and do some jazz according to gospel, according to jazz, and do that. But everybody, we want to get them involved, you know.
I think we have some great gospel performers in Tucson. You know, I really do.
We're going to let you see them.
Yeah, very good.
That's what our job is, to
right.
make sure you can see them.
All right. And again, we have been talking with Clarence Boykins and Kris Basel with the Tucson Jazz Society. And if you'd like to learn more, please go to tucsonjazz.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.